Now let's look at this figure 21-7, and we're dealing with groups E through G type dust in accordance with 500.6B1, B2, and B3. Now notice when you deal with dust, you get the group. E dust is more like metal dust, and we'll talk about that. Metal dust can track. So if you gather enough of that metal dust, you can track from a hot, ungrounded conductor to a metal and create a ground fault, or it could even track phase to phase and create a short circuit. So you want to keep that dust, metal dust, cleaned up. And then F, you're dealing with a certain type of dust. G, you're dealing with other dust than E and F dust. So, you get into F and G, you're dealing with sugar, corn, wheat, those type of dust. And then what do you worry about? Well, you worry about a dust cloud. To read more about this dust cloud, then it's NFPA 499 4.1.3. And again, when you review this NFPA 499 standard, a typical rule of thumb method, so to speak, is really taking your thumb, extend your arm out, and if you can see the thumb, usually you're not in any kind of a explosive condition. If you just want a visual look at things, 3 to 5 feet. If you can still, and if you want to be cautious, use 5 feet. And if you can still see things around you and they're visible to you, and it's just not dust you're looking at, then you're usually not in an explosion condition. But you want to make sure that you use caution when you do this. You should be trained on NFPA 499, and so that you realize all the requirements of dust. Now we have a table that we will look at, and I believe it's table 5.2.3. I believe it's in chapter 5, and it's a table that lists dust and the characteristics of dust so that you get a good feel for that. Then the second thing we have to really review and look out for is layers on equipment. And if you're over an 1/8 inch thick, then NFPA 499 4.1.4 says you're in explosive range. Two things can happen. An explosion could occur because you blanket the equipment and the components operating inside can't dissipate heat through the metal. So you get a heating effect and you can cause an explosion to occur. And then, of course, the groups, when we really want to review the groups, we could also look at NFPA 499 3.3.4.1 through now 3.3.4.3. And you would pick up more information and detail about the dust. But you can also pick up your groups E through G with the basic rules and NEC 500.6B1, B2, and B3. And then always remember that the NEC does not classify a dust area. All it does is reveal to you and I that we have a problem. We have to go to NFPA 499 to do the classification on new installations, existing equipment, and so forth. So you must know NFPA 499 where you have clouds and dust layers gathering on equipment due to dust. But if there's dust on the floor, on beams, conduit systems, and things like that, then you'd go to NFPA 654 to determine if you had a problem with dust. So that is what this figure 21-7 is illustrating to the designer and the installer using the NEC.